Hello, it's me. Today, I am not in Vegas, unlike last time I did this kind of video, and not in the States for that matter, but we are going to be taking a look at some fresh new leaks and data mines that we got for Vanguard 0. So there was a new update patch yesterday that went up with the Vanguard anniversary, and we got like 20 free packs. So if you haven't logged in recently, claim 20 free packs. That's a lot of free packs. The end is releasing in just a few days, so you really want to stock up on those. But we got a lot of stuff in the data. We got some updates for upcoming events. We have a lot of new cards, especially the Limit Break era looks like to be covered entirely for a few clans already. And we're also got to see what the next clan event will be, as well as some pretty crazy Krail elementals. So we're going to break everything down together. Before we begin looking at the cards though, I want to show you some of the random images we have. So for example, for the events, first of all, the new set coming out in a few days, MLB, Dode, Coco, and Beast Deities. You have a little banner for the pack, which will be going up on the 29th in most time zones, / the 1st of March in Japan / Asia. Then the next clan event is going to be Neonectar with Mai. So Neonectar, already you can find all the cards in the database. I'll put a link in the description where we get everything from. And also all the data mines come from the Vanguard 0 Reddit Discord. So I'll leave a link to join that Discord if you want to in the description, so that way you can see these updates before I make the video. But so we're gonna get Neonectar as the next clan event, and hopefully it's improved. But this time I did much better than I did in the Grand Blue one for spikes. I'm only missing 2 triples, so it's much better than the one for Grand Blue. But then after that, we're gonna get essentially another kind of like Valentine's event, but for White Day. And if you don't know what White Day is, basically for Valentine's in Japan, girls give guys chocolate, and then in White Day they get chocolate back from guys. So it's like basically their White Day is our Valentine's Day in the West. So that's kind of how it works. So we have Kai's little picture there as the banner for that. So we're going to get skins for the male characters. We'll see which ones. This will be after Ren is playable, so we can see what that will be. Then this I find really exciting. The Season 6 ranked reward will be Alice. Now I personally don't need Alice's because I already have 4, but this is a new art, and as far as I can tell, this has never been released before, which means that they're commissioning new artwork for 0, which I think that's something I didn't think they would do, and I'm very excited about that fact that they actually are commissioning new art for some of these very popular cards. And so Alice will be gettable from ranked starting March 1st, so it's gonna be really, really nice. And then there's essentially gonna be a bunch of one more event, which is going to be like a Crate Elemental challenge, and we're going to take a look at what that entails in just a moment. So I'm going to switch now to my browser view. So here you can see, so we're going to go through the new stuff. Royals didn't get anything, but for OTT we do have some stuff. So what you'll notice is some of these are March 1st, so those are this is essentially the set coming out this coming month. But then, for example, here we have Battle Sisters, which initially were not part of the database and only went up now, which have an estimated release of April 1st, but I'm not sure if they will release them that soon, or will they wait for another set, maybe, that they haven't put in the data yet, but that would be really strange. So I feel like, I'm not sure if I like that we have OTT and Nova support back to back, plus before any of the other clans get a wave 2. I think that's a bit bad, but I guess you can't do much about it. So we get a Battle Sister starter, then we have, we just scroll down a little bit, Lala is releasing in a few days, and then this thing is releasing in a few days. This Battle Sister will release in a few days, so this will, because it's part of the Soulless deck, and Coco and stuff is releasing very soon. Battle Sister Candy, some of these have an estimated release date of 2050, that's just how it appears in the code. So basically this is the self-damager. They actually changed the self-damagers, as you can see. They used to be count +1, take a damage at the end of turn, choose a damage, heal it, and now it's, if you have 4 or less cards in your damage zone, put the top card of your deck into the damage zone face down, literally what most of V-Series Angels does, and then at the end of that turn, return a card from your damage zone to your deck at random, prioritizing face down. So basically making sure that you don't actually counterblast additionally for it outside of that 1 counterblast that it normally costs, but these are your self-damagers for Limit Break format. Then Battle Sister Cream, this is the cookie booster. Then the Sayori Hime for Amaterasu, so that kind of gives you a hint of what's coming actually. Then Uzume, to search for your Goddess of the Sun Amaterasu, so that is the cross ride that you will see. And so these are still commons and rares. then we keep going. Oh, there's one more piece of news that I need to talk about actually before we continue through this. There's one thing that's already in-game, which is we're getting a tournament mode that starts from the 29th/28th maybe in our time zones. That will basically be like you play until you lose, and then you get like these tokens that you exchange for alternate art cards, which includes cards like Silent Tom and Ashura Kaiser. So you can get copies of those cards really easily through this like in-game tournament system. It's going to be really interesting. I will do a separate video for that when it actually comes out, so I'm really excited for it. That might be tomorrow's video, I'm not sure. We're going to have a little bit of a wave of zero content for a while, simply because, you know, there's a lot of stuff to cover. But anyway, so looking at more of the new cards, here we see the witches will all release in this coming pack, so in just a few days. So Glass, Gaga, this Oracle Guardian as well. Then this one is the Self-Damager on Grade 2. This one has an April 1st, 2020 release date, it's not 2050. Macaron is rumored to be a double rare. We'll see if that does come true or not. Then Battle Deity Susano, also a double rare, but just a 12k attacker, so we'll see if that comes true or not. That one would be releasing January 1st, apparently. Then, moving forward, Coco will be releasing very soon, as well as Nana. But then, also these rarities might change, because quite a few rarities from the Datamine changed upon release, so don't take the rarities for granted, but the skills also might change. But at least, like, you know, what cards are in the data does not lie. And these skills are translated from the Japanese data, so we should be believing that some of these changes are what they will be. So here we can see like Cylinder Magus and Gentle Jim, you know, these cards are coming up. But then here we have at the end some of the new triples. So Fromage is going to be a double, it looks to be. The skill didn't change. Cookie also did not change as far as I know, and will be a triple. And then Goddess of the Sun Amaterasu is the cross-ride for Amaterasu. So this is already the late limit break, you know, BT09 release. So this will have the cross ride with CEO Amaterasu, as well as the skill Limit Break 4. When her attack hits a Vanguard, combos 2 and put a card from your deck into your hand. This, in the original series, wasn't all that good. But in Zero, where the only card you really care about in your hand is PGs, that's pretty good. So I think, you know, having a 13k base plus this nice little on-hit search a PG, definitely very cool. So I think that's definitely going to be nice and appreciated, and I think that this will see play actually in Zero. Unlike the actual game, when this card released, it was seen as very bad compared to Tsukiyomi, and I mean, even now, I would say Tsukiyomi is better, but we'll see how much power the cross rides will have over the meta. I think that's what I'm personally really interested in seeing as well. So moving on, there's nothing for Kagero in the Datamine, but for Novas, there's a lot. So, Beast Deities are coming out right now, but Death Army Pawn. Death Armies are coming, and they got insanely buffed, I can tell you that much. So we're looking at Death Army Pawn. This is the starter. You can read all the effects on the website. I'm not going to go through everything, just the cards actually releasing. So Beast Deities, as I said, are coming out soon. Blank Marsh, however, is not coming out too soon. Then Death Army Bishop is coming, looks to be a double rare. Very good, you know, Canvas 1, once per turn, stand 2 your Death Armies. Very nice. Self-Damager and Stoic Honey. And then, you know, the Death Army Lady and Death Army Guy, you make sure you have them already, because these will be very important. Black Tortoise will be a double rare in the upcoming pack. But then we also, I want to just go down. Death Army Rook is your new 10k. Death Army Knight. Then Golden Anglet is not coming out in this upcoming booster. It's going to come out in the next one. And so as you can see, there's extra Beast Deity support. And that means that there's a cross ride coming too. So I'm going to skip along and basically show you that we're getting this one, not now either. Yamato no Drake will be essentially your third Beast Deity Grade 3, which means you'll have Zerdragon, Illuminal, plus Yamato no Drake. And so you can run all three of them. But then here you go. Illuminal Dragon looks to be confirmed as well. His skill did not change when it attacked combos 3, stand 2 Beast Deities. So, and then cross ride with Azure Dragon. This card, I completely forgot that this exists. Death Army Commander. When you drive check a grade 3, it stands. This does actually exist in the real game. This came out in BT13 in the Chaos booster, actually. So I was really surprised. It came out so late. But in Zero might actually see play in Death Armies. But then look at this. Death Army Cosmo Lord is so buffed. First thing, he's now an 11k, he was 10k before. Second thing, he's a cross-ride of the original Cosmo Lord. This was not the case in the real game. He was not a cross-ride, he was just a 10k base, and that's part of what made him bad at the time, because he came out a bit too late in the Limit Break era. And so this, I think, will literally make Death Armies insane. because it's going to be 13k base that can rest 2 death armies to get plus 5k, and then his skill is anyway combos 2 stand all your rear guards. If 4 or more were stood, he gets plus 1 crit. And yes, this is once per turn, but you have so many ways to like rest your stuff, stand your stuff, and basically like get all these extra effects. It's gonna be nuts. Like, you'll be running copies of where's Mr. Street Bouncer, you know, things like that. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be insanely good. I'm really excited for this. I feel like I like this deck when it was first around, you know, as like a fun side deck, but like the fact that it got so buffed in Zero, I think Death Armies will be really, really good in Zero, honestly. Like, at this rate, they just give out Crossfights for free. And so I can't see this being bad. I really think this is going to be really good, arguably better than this, you know, which is a bit ironic because, I mean, now you might as well put your materials into crafting regular Cosmo Lords, which, I mean, aren't that good, but at this point it's like, why not? You might as well craft your normal Cosmo Lords if you haven't pulled them already and had them as dupes. Sadly, we didn't get a Shurkaiser's Break Ride, a Cross Ride yet, but hopefully we will one day. So that's that. I want to look at Cray Elementals for a second. Most of you know that they don't have any special skills except for the skill variants. As you can see, this is the same card, Wind Elemental Pui, but this one has Resist. So this is a Cray Elemental with Resist that can be played everywhere. Then, moving forward, we have the Wind Elemental Grade 2, also has Resist, so that's just the beginning. And then look at these three. Wind Elemental, Fire Elemental, and Stone Elemental with skills. This one has a skill. At the start of your main phase, retire 3 of your opponent's rear cards. At the end of your turn, heal 3 cards. At the end of your opponent's 8th turn, end the game. Interesting. This one, your rear guards cannot stand and cannot be retired by opponent's card effects. At the end of turn, heal 3 cards. At the end of your opponent's 8th turn, end the game. And this one has Resist. When this unit is attacked, if there is no boosted unit, that battle this unit gets power plus 5k. So these cards are not cards that we can use, unfortunately. And interestingly enough, only the Wind Elemental has a new art, but it does have a new art. But these, there is an event coming up called a Cray Elemental Challenge, and it looks like these will be kind of like the bosses of that mode, that you'll have to either beat or use. I'm not sure which one it will be. I feel like it could be use, actually. But I'm very excited because these effects are pretty nuts. This one also has an effect. During your opponent's turn, your Vanguard gets plus 5k power. That's pretty interesting. But I think that's it for the effect ones, but still, pretty insane. You know, looking at these effects, I feel like it's going to be a pretty fun mode, so I'm pretty excited for that. Grand Blue, there's nothing new. Neo Nectar I can quickly go through, but that's basically what the next clan event will be, but it's nothing too special. Basically, it's like the first and second set of, oh, I guess also BT08 with Rainbow Wood, of Neo Nectar support. There's Mr. Irbinsul, very meta these days. Oh, but he was actually not that bad. He's like Devil Summoner. So we basically get Maiden of Trailing Rose, who was a pretty good card. When she hits your Vanguard, combos 1, Persona Blast the Trailing Rose, and look at top 5, call 2. So she'll be pretty good, I think, simply for that easy plus. And then Jean is your other grade 3 triple rare for that set, so for that event basically. And then finally, the last clan that got a lot of new stuff is Spikes. So we just had the Spikes event, but we're looking to get even more stuff. So we have a new starter, which is when her attack hits a Vanguard, put it into your soul, call a card from hand. But then this one, Reign of Terror Thermidor, when it boosts the rear guard, you may give it plus 3k power till end of battle. If you give it 3k at the end of that battle, put that unit at the bottom of your deck. I think this will be an important starter, simply because he doesn't go back to deck, it's the unit in front that goes back to deck, and it will help to get over cross-ride numbers going forward, I think. So it's going to be really, really important. Then we have a few more cards. Dudley Daisy is looking to be a double rare. When placed during battle phase, combos 1 gets 5k. Then we also have Medical Manager, the Soul Charger. Wild Hitter is a pretty interesting card. It's kind of like the Dudley Dan, but with a different kind of cost. Then Cheer Girl Carol, UFO, Dudley Phantom. You know, a lot of Dudleys are coming out, seems to be the case. Then Dudley Douglas also will be coming out. That's going to be very nice. I don't think we get a Dudley 10k Vanilla, if they ever even got one. I don't think they did. Blowkiss Olivia is pretty cool because this retires your opponent's stuff. But I don't think that this can work because when an attack hits a Vanguard Soul Blast 2, retire one of your opponent's front or rear guards, put this unit at the bottom of your deck. That doesn't work under Zero rules because you cannot ignore, like, unless, it actually does work as long as their front row is a grade 3 or a grade 1. But it will not work if it's grade 2 because you have to sack that first. So it's pretty interesting. then Field Driller would be coming out, and then the most important and exciting part is our next triple rares are Dudley Emperor and Jelly Bean. So Jelly Beans is, you know, we've had like Gancelot basically in Adel Rose, search your deck for a particular grade 2. And so this lets you search for any grade 2 or lower Dudley, which means that basically whatever Dudleys we get in the future, it will be always good. So definitely something you want to pick up. But Dudley Emperor was known to be what made Spikes competitive back in the day, and so this is going to be very, very important. They didn't change the skill. Limit Break when attacks a Vanguard combos 2, put 2 from hand into soul, and then call 2 from deck to open rearguard circles, and when it's boosted gets power plus 3k. So Dudley Emperor was very prolific and super strong back in the Limit Break era, and just a very key card for Spikes. I would say this is literally the face of Spikes, together with Juggernaut Maximum, because you would basically use cards like Bracky, Juggernaut Maximum to like attack and go back to deck, and then you would use Dudley Emperor to put cards into soul and then call out new cards and then just slam face. And so Spike's already really good in Zero actually. Just with this first wave of like Siegfried, Juggernaut Maximum, etc. and Skydiver, it was already really strong. But now with Dudley Emperor coming out, you know, who knows when, but when it does come out, it's going to be super good. I predict the next Clan events to go like this. We have Neo Nectar in March, then we're going to have Grand Blue in April, and then we're going to have Spikes again in May, but then they still need to do like Tachikaze, Mega Colony at some point, and they still haven't done them. So we're going to see when that happens, but you know, it's very exciting. There's a lot of new cards, a lot of just fun combos to think about, and it's just a lot of stuff, honestly. So if you want to look at all the cards in detail, do check out this website, Vanguard Zero Meta. I'll leave a link in the description, but that's basically it for all those leaks and just all the information that we got from the Datamine. So it's a lot of stuff to be excited about. I thought I would make a video because the last time there was such a big Datamine, I also decided that it's good to inform the people about it. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. I hope you guys are as hyped as I am, because Zero's looking pretty fun. The releases are fast, but the game itself is pretty fast. You get a lot of rewards and packs and everything pretty quick. So I've already expressed my opinions on the game in a separate video. You can watch that if you want to, but yeah, it's pretty exciting. So that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the channel members for joining. If you want to join yourself, you can click the join button next to the subscribe button down below. I really do appreciate it, but that's gonna be it for me today. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.